guys. What's really going on? Yeah, I just posted I posted a song by Phil Collins, the song Testify, and it got me a thinking, a good name of a new song would be um, Testify My Fucking Ass Off. I mean, I would love to, just saying, against Illuminati, Cult Coven, Eastern Stars, whatever you want to call them, Freemason, dipshits, uh, the Cabal. I mean, these people would really look interesting in their, prison outfits and stripes for murder. Um, I don't know how long ago it was, half a year or so ago or more. I don't know. I can't, recall exactly when it was. But I had, smelled something horrible next door. And I don't know if that came first and then the dream, which was really a nightmare, that Rasputin was actually dead. So that's why they've been working so hard to poison me and, you know, to poison me, do their black magic, voodoo, uh, moon magic, whatever, graveyard, I don't know. They do a lot of weird, sick, disgusting shit. And it was all to twist everything up because, well, someone, obviously the murderer, has Rasputin's phone. And of course, they've got AI and all kinds of things to make things look and sound different. Quit. Um, so that's White Rapper Boy. Go look at Francis de Medici. Go look at the picture, the color picture. Quit. Really? I mean, they even do, like witchcraft on my cat. This is how absurd these people are and sick and disgusting. Do they really think I wouldn't testify against them? I'm just curious. Of course I would. You murder people, you murder animals, you harm children. I would testify my fucking ass off. Just saying. Happily. Um, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes to put them where they belong. Yep. Oh, and by the way, let's not forget the FEMA camps that they built for us so they could do whatever they wanted to us and steal all the money because they think they're just going to be happy with money. That's their God. They don't realize it's just a tool. It makes no sense. If you go back long enough, there really wasn't money around. People lived off the land and made homes that way, and these people are idiots. They can't think for themselves. They're retarded. I mean, they call other people names, say that they're retarded or that they're this or disabled or whatever, but no, it's just these idiots, because these idiots are about making people disabled, and they like to put labels on them so they can get away with things. I mean, the last time that because it's interesting, I call the police and they do absolutely nothing. They call the police and it's like they come, more of them, and every time I talk to them, they're always pushing something, something not good, like pushing against me, trying to steer me a certain way, or to try to, say or do something so they can have an excuse to take me in, because that's their main goal. Like, that's going to stop their karma. I mean, what do you think they're involved in if they're on their side? What do you think they do to kids? I mean, they're sitting here telling me why don't I go, go stay with my mother. I don't talk to my mother. I just found out she was my mother. And she's a fucking cunt. The whore of Babylon. That's my mother. I don't even know how many kids she has. I don't know how many half siblings I have. Let's put it that way. With many different dads. I mean, White Rapper Boy's my half brother. like the biggest loser ever. And wonder how many masks he's worn in front of the world, because that's what he does. He thinks that he's all hidden, and he's very sick, very homosexual, and he's spreading HIV/AIDS around. That's what he's doing, and he's a child molester. I mean, whenever I was in Florida, Rasputin had taken me to this person's house. It was supposedly someone he worked with. Chuck, oh, I don't have any McCormick seasoning. Okay? A little bit of a code, y'all. And that house, there was, some kids in it. And I just got a very weird sense. Of course, this is when I was, very badly poisoned. And, yeah, my brain was pretty damn cooked. Okay? And, but yeah, I just got I don't know, a vibe, a sense, something. But then I got that feeling when these people showed up across the street, straight across the street. You just follow this driveway right into the house. I got the feeling it was those kids, grown up, at least a couple of them. And I definitely see White Rapper Boy, he looked like he was dressed up like an old woman or something like that, which he's done that before. He's dressed up as women, everything. Just go look up and learn about, who was it that was so flamboyant? Caligula. Yeah, these people are from those group of people, the Caesars. Little Medici's running around, little Caesars running around. Oh, shit. Medici's and their coat of arms is, like Pizzagate written all over it. It looks like a pizza, a slice of pizza. Go look at it. And then you have, Little Caesar's Pizza, which that's pointing to the same people, The universe has signs like that. It's just no coincidence. But, that's who that is over there. And that's who's human trafficked my child. They kidnapped him. And these are not people to fear, y'all. They're so cowardly. They can't just kill someone outright. They got to sneakily do it. I've been fed so much poison, and, well, I guess when you, I don't know what it is. Maybe I've just lived lifetimes of them poisoning me to the point that you become immune to it. Or not immune to it. It still hurts you, but like it doesn't kill you anymore or something. I don't know. Or just the transmutation of it. But these people are about putting people in fear. That's what you need to get out of. Get out of the fear mode. And that's the point of listening to, that music, the chakra music, or going outside, nature. And of course, they're going to do anything they can to block anything that might change that, because they think they're going to keep a cycle going. That's why he calls himself Mr. Pool, which is loop room. That's all he's about. That's White Rapper Boy, the biggest loser on planet Earth. Yeah, he doesn't want the whole world to know that he's homosexual, but this is how this has happened. Every time some catfish was sent in, oh, fishers of men, you have to look at who wrote it. His daddy. Okay, he was King James back then. Go look up King Ferdinand. And King Ferdinand the 7th, I want to say, he had a Epstein penis. We'll put it that way. And of course, White Rapper Boy has the one ball, like Baal. Also, Hitler only has one ball. You can't make that shit up. Of course, you have them, pushing the Bible, but if you were really to look at it, the Bible is basic knowledge before leaving Earth. Basic, okay? Because they plagiarized, and then they, put in part of their playbook right in it. It's literally in there. In every Freemason lodge, they have got the King James Bible. So you have to. Have you ever really read the Bible? I mean, like studied it, not have someone else tell you something about it where you're reading it every day. Um, what is that called? The Bible Gateway. Now they have a verse for the day, but they also have a Bible reading for the day. Do that. Do the Bible reading every single day, if not even twice a day, and then read more of it as well. And you got to sit and read it by yourself in the quiet. It has to be quiet. Like play some of the chakra music, the instrumental music, in the background low, not real loud, so that you can concentrate on what you're reading. And don't let anyone else tell you what something is. When your heart is open and you're reading that, you're going to see things that you probably never noticed before. And it's going to be shocking. We've all been through programming because that's what they do. They program you with the Bible movies and all the stories so that you look at it the way they put it out to you. You need to look at things differently and realize where they twist things. And especially if you're being, you have the experience of these people putting you through things. I mean, because they have MK Ultra right in there. Esther, Job. I mean, the horrible things happening to people, that's their MK Ultra. They like telling themselves. There's good things in the Bible, but there's horrific things. Dashing children to pieces, that's sick. That is really sick. I mean, saying that it's okay to kill and murder, but then having the 10 Commandments, thou shalt not kill. It's, and they do the Old Testament, New Testament, so they can make it seem like, oh, well, this was a long time ago. History repeats itself, okay? It's a repeating pattern until you heal what made it repeat. So you see why it's important to heal your chakras, to heal your traumas, to go through that trouble. Because if you don't, you're going to end up like them. I mean, if you see the future, you know what's coming. These people, they're insane because they're energy vampires and it drives them insane. They're the ones that are in absolute fear, but they have such an inflated ego that they think that they're brazen and brave and all this, but why would they hide? Why would they hide shit? Why would they murder someone and hide it and try to cover it up, make it look like someone else did it? Why was he trying so hard to make it sound like he's in Florida? Make it seem like Rasputin's in Florida. No. And that my child's in Florida. No. He's right across the street. Why would you sit there and talk about having a soundproof room and, a steel door, but then putting something in front of it so that it didn't, wasn't noticeable or something like that? It's their way of saying something, like telling something without telling it all. But there's something about them and having like a secret room, secret basement, because that was something else that was talked about. I was talking about, he said, and now this is not Rasputin though, but he's using Rasputin's phone and name. But it's White Rapper Boy. White Rapper Boy's right across the street. But he was saying something about a basement and that him and his wife were canning vegetables and putting, stuff in the basement. Well, that's probably, code for something else, like drugs or something. I mean, or guns or, oh God, I hope it's not organ traffic. Who the hell knows? These people are sicker than sick. Yeah, their karma needs to come for them quickly. Because, yeah, I mean, if they don't run, it's going to be real bad, what they're gonna go through. But yeah, I don't think they can't really foresee shit that they want to pretend that they can. They have to steal that. That's why they've got to do the energy vampire thing. They have to steal energy so they can do their Destiny Swap Freaky Friday, wear other people's energy so they can hide in it, but that's not really working out. Yep. They do their remote viewing thing and steal. You know, that's how they have all these books and movies, besides them putting people in scenarios, recording it all. I mean, it's like the whole Nixon White House thing, recording their own shit. Yeah, these people have had control for a long time. Have you ever heard of the demiurge? Go and learn about that. Yaldabaoth. You really need to learn about these things to really understand what's going on in your world. You need to wake up to it so that you're not caught by surprise and put in shock over it. But how do you think things like 9/11 happen? These horrible things that these people do. And, you know, what do you think this does to people that report things that are going on, but instead the, you know, police and law officials go after the ones that are reporting what's going on? And so they can have control over everyone, you know? Get them in the, oh, what is that called? The Stockholm Syndrome. You see? And that's what these people are about doing. They all gang up, gang stalk, and attack. Which, I mean, they've been voracious on doing this to me. What do you think they're doing to my kids? But I want my kids to know not to be afraid of these assholes, you know. But they're, of course, being, you know, given shit in their food like and drink like they do me. And it's like, you can tell them, but it's very hard to crack this, you know. But, I mean, he was just, you know, Uncle Creepy was out there yelling at him and micromanaging and telling him what to do, how to do it, and everything else. And before, he was not going through that, you know. He was saying what he needed to say because that's a son of a bitch that's got no, hell, no, that would be backwards. He's just the bitch. But no compassion. No feeling, no heart, no nothing. Talk about a heart that's waxed over because they've never gone through any karma. They keep pushing on everyone else. That's what these people do. They're sick. They're so sick. I mean, I used to go outside. You know, I haven't smoked cigarettes since like the end of October, maybe the first day or so of November. And so I miss smoking. That was like something relaxing and enjoyable to me. But anyway, and just because you've been, that's, you know, that's a program telling everyone that, well, this is bad, because it's their way of putting, you know, they poison people, so it's easy to put it off on smoking. You know, which, you know, there are cigarettes that you can have that are, you know, supposed to be organic and not have the chemicals in it and stuff like that. But the same thing, cadmium, is also in, you know, vegetables and God knows what else because it's in the soil. I mean, everything that they keep spraying in the skies. But then you have people say, oh, that's not true. Well, how much have you watched the skies? I've watched the skies for a long time, ever since I was little. And it's awful odd how these stars in the sky, why do they look like blinking satellites? You know, why do they look red and blue? Blink, 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 blink. It just looks strange. That's not how it used to look. You know? Something funny going on. I mean, something real funny going on. It's just not how it used to look. Okay? But these are people that keep, an illusion going. Even if, say, something already happened, they're going to keep an illusion going. That's their game. I mean, Rasputin died. And that was like horrible. I don't totally remember the dream, but I just remember it being horrible. It was horrible to wake up and realize I had a dream that someone died. I didn't even realize that I had seen him, try to come up to us at the parking lot at a store. I didn't realize that's who it was. We were already kind of, walking off when somebody was coming up, but I didn't have anything. I didn't have like money, nothing to give. And we were in a hurry because we had to hurry up and get back. I didn't know. But, I mean, he had like, his hair was like copper, wire, red, like he'd been sleeping outside or something. It looked weird. It just didn't look like him. And then it wasn't until later, because there's all this brush to the house that's next door, that I didn't realize that was, it seemed like maybe just the top portion, that I realized, way later, that was him. It took a long time for that to come together because, again, being poisoned all the time. Yeah, I mean, when you're going through this and you're around these people, it just gets worse until you wake up. It will wake you up and it'll make you move, because it's just always, get worse around these people until they catch their fucking karma. And they need their karma. Yeah, they sure enough do. They steal, they kill, they destroy. It's all they know. And they need, parasites need a host. Why do they always need to have one of us around? Me or my kids? I mean, these are the kind of people that will never let go because they're parasites. So you've got to pray out to God. Pray out to God and ask for help. What do I do? You repent to God, say sorry to God, because you don't even know what you may have done. But even if it's someone else has forced you into something, these are people that make you stumble in order to get you to take their karma. So you just say, sorry to God, say, please help me. I don't really know what I've done wrong, but I apologize and repent for all sins known and unknown. And you follow along, okay? You listen. Just all quietness if you can. And if someone is preventing that, get the fuck away from them. I promise you, God has probably provided an out that maybe you can't see or understand is better than where you're at. You just have to think, Like, even if you have to, like in my particular situation, if someone needed to, get help from me, but not from the creepy bastard that's downstairs, the pervert, Epstein loser, Manson loser that's downstairs, they would just come and throw a gumball at my window, And, at least I would know. At least I would know someone was there. And, go from there. But you wouldn't stay in that situation. You damn sure wouldn't. These people are sick. And when you're dealing with people like this, you're supposed to stand against oppression, not go along with it. When they say something like, well, we'll kill your family, we'll kill your parents or your siblings and da-da-da-da. What, you think that bowing down and doing what they want makes it better? They're eroding the person away from themselves. It's worse. So that's something you want to leave as quick as possible. They're not going to, kill people like they say, because they have to do it by slow poisoning or slow drugging to make it look like an OD, because that's their game, you know. It's like when there's a kidnap or something like that, they always say don't go with them, fight against it, but when you have these fucking sick ass police involved that aren't doing their job, that are part of this whole cabal, and they don't realize they're going to go down with their karma too, because that's what these people do. And what do they call it? CPS, DHR, or whatever the hell you want to call them. I mean, they're supposed to help the families that need the help instead of go after them and human traffic their kids. But when you have people like that, you don't know who you can trust. So you look for the people that are standing against it. That's, where you go. That's where you go. The people that are joining in and, being a part of it, you're taking on that karma. Best thing you can do is repent, turn on your handlers. Yeah, you've got to tell. And you can't trust anybody in this area. This whole state is corrupt. Sure seems like Florida is too. There's too much of this going on around here. The human trafficking hotline, that was said it was, the Clinton Foundation phone number, which probably means these people's little phone number. The Cabal. So I damn sure wouldn't trust it. Yeah, it's kind of very difficult to know who and where and what to trust. So you definitely got to look for people that are standing against them. We all need to join together against these people, because they are, the cancer in our world that must be dealt with. And I mean, hell, they got these FEMA camps for all of us. That's their goal, where they want to put all of us when they're, done doing what they want to do to us. And it ain't good. So, yeah, this seems like a good place for them to go, doesn't it? Oh, I know it's somewhere. It might be in Esther, but where it's, I'm not sure. Esther, probably several places where it talks about what they meant for us is given to them, because they're the ones that did all these crimes and were about making other people stumble. They put this on people's bloodlines. They make them stumble so that it's in their generation, generational curses. And that's what gives people, all these problems in their families. Because this stuff's been going on all the way back to Caesar, y'all. The Caesars. Which that's, the Medicis and Caesars, they, come from Rome, and that's where they, started all that, the banking systems and everything that are where they own everything, where they own the Pope, They like to run it all. And they've never stopped. I mean, that was their goal way back then. And history repeats itself. I mean, go look at Henry Stuart, known as Lord Darnley. He looks just like Francis de Medici. Just, a little bit different age, of course, but it looks like the same damn face. And of course, back then, well, still yet, but, the kings, and these aren't real kings, y'all, they would have mistresses, so they'd have all kinds of kids everywhere. So, I mean, it's just weird. But anyway, these people are sick. They're sicker than sick. They hurt animals. They do all kinds of things. I think the majority of us know that serial killers start out with animals. Do you see why this is a bad thing? Just because it's written in a book and that everyone bows down to, well, the Bible isn't Jesus, y'all. It's a book that someone wrote and plagiarized. Okay? And history repeats itself. You have to keep going back to that. And that there is no coincidence. You've been programmed and taught that. Do you realize who wrote the Bible? I mean, really think about it. And they program people and make them do things against their will by having all the Roman soldiers, if you want to say, work for them. That's not to say that every one of them are, but they have certain ones that go to their allegiance. Remember Operation Paperclip, where they brought the Hitler people over from Germany over to here. The people that, have allegiance to Hitler. Yeah, you thought we're done with those people, but there was people that brought it right over here. See, everyone that, it was literally White Rapper Boy, catch me if you can, okay, that would get with someone, probably poison them, drug them, and got with them, a man now, to program them to come after me. Like a catfishing thing. And remember, Fisher's a man, and interesting enough, Uncle Creepy is a Pisces. So this is literally my mother and Uncle Creepy, which their kid is White Rapper Boy. So you understand that's incest. These people are very sick. So they get their kid, White Rapper Boy, to come after me, and sick people after me to kill me. They were all hitmen to come and kill me. And they do it by poisoning and stuff like this, and God knows what else. I mean, I know one of them beat the living shit out of me because he'd get so drunk. That's why I've got, scars. But then, I would get away from them, break up, whatever, and they would sacrifice them. Probably put an insurance policy out on them. That's their way of making money. And then they would kill them. These people are sick. They shouldn't be allowed to have anything to do with insurance. How come there aren't people looking this stuff up? They murdered my grandparents because they had money. I didn't even really know they had money. I mean, I never got to speak to them like alone. These people always had to be around. These are people that will do anything for money. Anything. Yeah, if you need a hoe, go see my mother. But you might catch something because she sleeps with her own kids. She sleeps with White Rapper Boy. I don't know if they still do or what, but that's disgusting. That is disgusting. These people don't want their secrets to get out. They don't realize they're about to be famous. They always wanted to be famous, but I don't think they want to be famous like what's going to happen. Yeah, I don't think they really have an idea. Should be pretty shocking for them. But when you're dealing with these people, you're going to have to get out of the fear. That would be, start off the root chakra, because that has to do with like fear and stuff like that. They project it onto other people. They like to put it out there on TV, the movies, and the this and the that, and, put people in fear any way they can. So once you can see past all that, and you heal that problem, the fear, and realize it's not yours, that it's a lot of people that like to project it onto who they fear. Why would people game stalk somebody? Because that's who they fear. They really do. Because these are people that aren't right. They're something that they're hiding, and they need to be kept hidden. So You just have to do the healing, heal the chakras, go through whatever you need to so that you can get there, and keep going. Don't ever quit. And we need to do this because it makes these people show up even more, and they're more obvious to people that wouldn't normally see it because they're sitting there wearing other people's energy. So you literally say out loud with intent as well that, I'm calling back all my power, all my energy, um, all my healing power, and, what belongs to me through every lifetime. Because that's what they're about doing, is fracturing you through lifetimes. Something that they do, the whole demiurge and his little crew. But you need to look that up and learn about that too. And learn about narcissism so that you can understand their ways and how to deal with it. And listen to more than one, but you've got to learn that. You got to learn it pretty good so that, you can start seeing things. That's why they got to poison people and make them sick and stuff like that. But if you know this stuff, that's what fucks them up. You learning this stuff. You researching and getting knowledgeable, and it's to help save your life and make them show up like the, rotten little scumball that they are, And really don't judge a book by its cover, because you end up not seeing what's really there. And that's what they're banking on. That's why they use the TV to program everything. So definitely want to be careful of that. And when you get into doing this, you start seeing narcissists right away. You start seeing the red flags, so you don't get caught up in something. That's another reason why you're chased for a while, is so that you can see it. If you're not, it can cost you your life. So learn this stuff. Do everything that you can. And meditate. Get that alone time with God. If you're unable to get it, then pray and ask for it, for Him to provide it. And keep believing. Keep believing and keep doing what you are able to do. Because there's a lot of people that will say, well, you need to do this, you need to do this, and then they'll name off all this stuff, and like none of it I can do. Because of the situation. So I don't think they're taking into account that there are people out here that are in really bad situations and are, unable to do anything. At least any of their suggestions, But you do what you can. And these people, they hate the psychic community. They hate it big time because, they're talking about them a lot, So they really do. Now, there's karmic readers too, but, and they attack them, so they do black magic and witchcraft on them too. Uh-oh. What are you doing, kitty? Cat's about to hop up here. What? Now it's a good place because I'm here? He's an orange cat. But you just got to keep going and don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. Don't stop believing. Like he's going to try to put a claw on me when he jumps up. He's a big cat. Ain't you? Yeah. The noisy booger. Yeah. Alright, y'all. Yeah, it's pretty long enough. Well, alright, y'all. Take care and do what you can and don't ever quit and stand up to these people. You have to, you need to be bold because these people are, thanks. These people act like they're bold. They're not bold. They're just ego. Just big, huge, inflated ego. And confidence is different than arrogance. These people don't have that concept. They don't have much concept of anything. These are the people that, when you go back and look up, who is it? The Habsburgs that had hydrocephalus, which is water on the brain. They were rotting from the inside out. They had all this going on. They don't seem to realize it's because of all these things that they do. If they cleared that karma, turned to God, repented, did what they were supposed to do, they could get this stuff healed. But they've done so much bad over so long a time that they've just, it's the Walking Dead, the zombies, Resident Evil. But this is like, I feel like I've been through the movie The Net and Misery and as a guy that got hobbled. And Aliens and Predators, the invisible predator. Invisible because you don't or can't really see them unless you learn about narcissists and psychopaths and all that. But the predator takes the spine out of men, so that they won't have any backbone to stand up to them, you see. So that's why you go through these processes. And like I said, I've got a playlist in the community post section when you go to like the home page, and it has videos, shorts, and posts. So you go there and you go to the post, you go down that, check everything I got there. But I have that playlist there which can help you a lot. You play that in the background, you can play different ones because I've put quite a few there. And then you can, find what sounds good to you, what resonates with you, that really helps you, That's a good way to combat it. And remember, Satan is who created religion. Satan, Samael, Uncle Sam, Uncle Creepy. Same one. Okay? The demiurge, same one. So, that's who created religion. Look at the word religion. R-E, re, and legion put together. When you pray and you put A-M-E-N at the end of it, do you realize that it also says in Scripture that we're not to worship men, but yet people are saying A together with men? That's an issue. I end, my prayers with please and thank you instead of saying that. Once you realize it, you're like, ooh, we're not to turn to men. We're to turn to spiritual, divine. It's a big difference in that. You don't need a preacher or a pope or any of that crap. They do that so that they can control everything. You can go direct to God. Okay? So, you need to do that. And if you're someone that's been sucked into this cabal, whatever, you need to repent and turn on your handlers. And if you say where, well, call the FBI. Just don't do it in this area. Don't call the local FBI. Call the main number. They also have where you can, like, online message them. But, for people that are autistic, their little forms, they fuck with us. So you may get some people that are trying to do that and it goes to the wrong spot because, I don't know, it's like I could fill out numerous of them for basically the same thing. So that's like confusing to someone that has autism or, had their brain melted. They don't seem to get that these forms that they use are confusing. Like if it was an essay, no problem. So, if we just had an open area just to say what we need to say, talk to law officials, it's like they're running away, won't let me finish what I'm saying. I'm like, that's an issue. It's not a good sign. Let's put it that way. That's usually a sign of someone that's on the other side. On the other side and fearful. So, I'm just trying to help y'all with who and where you can go. I mean, look up, why was the FBI created? Go look that up. When you're looking at things, look at why it was created. What's the purpose, So you can get better information and know where it is you need to go and why this is better than this, So, all right, y'all. Take care and God bless.